Okay, I don't know. I'm a little shocked by this, just a little bit.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so we got to talk about Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson. Apparently, the Spurs aren't playing around. Brian Wright is on his alpha male grind set. Obviously, that's a joke. I never use that type of language. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. But before we do, really quick, you guys want to support Channel Clan, the merch fan, link in the description if you guys want to support. I even have stickers. So yeah, go ahead and head over there. Help your boy out. If you want to support, it's there. Okay, link in the description. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. So Jakob Poeltl. Okay, Jakob Poeltl apparently on the trading block once again. This was reported by Peter Dewey, if you will. And I actually saw this on Instagram, and quite a few people sent this to me as well. But San Antonio Spurs are seeking 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. And yeah, it's seemingly legit. It seems like the San Antonio Spurs legit are asking for 2 first-round picks. Now, I looked through the comments. Now, there's some people that really think it's dumb if any team gives us 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. Now, obviously, this is from sideline sources. So usually this is what they do. They post a bunch of different headlines. So you're going to get mixed, comments. But a few people have said things as such. If anyone trades the Spurs 2 first for Poeltl, they should be drug tested. And there's another one I saw here, 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. Is dudes drunk? So yeah, so people are basically not buying that the Spurs can get 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. Me personally, I think you could. How Brian Wright has been moving thus far, I think he most certainly could. Now let's go ahead and look through this article. And this is basically talking about Josh Richardson as well on the trading block, which this is something that I didn't hear a ton of, but it completely makes sense to me. I'll give you my take after we read through this. So Spurs rumors, Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson trade talks get crucial update amid San Antonio rebuild. All right, and it goes on to say that we haven't rebuilt for 25 years. We're in the sweepstakes for Victor Wembanyama. We all know this. But yeah, anyways, moving on. All right, according to LJ, and I love LJ, the Spurs are still shopping Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson, and Doug McDermott with their price for the first 2 remaining high. So for Richardson, the Spurs are requesting a first-round pick. For Poeltl, the Spurs are asking for 2 first-round picks. Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people not going to want to hear this. They're going to think it's really dumb. But I'm going to go ahead and say this, okay? Then this might be a hot take. I really do believe that Jakob Poeltl is worth at least a first-round pick. I mean, I really do mean that. Now, he's really stupidly underrated as a defender. And I could see a team that's on the cusp of championship or even a championship caliber team taking on Jakob Poeltl to go ahead and try to make another run at the finals. I don't see why you wouldn't, to be completely honest. Now, I looked through some of the teams that I thought would really love a Jakob Poeltl. First and foremost, the Golden State Warriors. But here's the thing. Golden State Warriors doesn't really have any other first round picks that aren't their own. And we can even see here 2024 first round draft pick to Memphis. So I have no idea. I have no idea when it comes to Golden State Warriors. They certainly probably wouldn't be able to give us 2 first round picks. Maybe they can give us one of their first round picks in the future. But it would not be the future right now. I don't know if they would even give us 2023 first round pick. It might be a little later than that. But go ahead and moving up. There's another team in particular that I wanted to look at, and it's the Chicago Bulls. And we can see here that the Chicago Bulls have the first round draft pick from Portland. Portland's first round pick to Chicago protected selections 1 through 14, 2024, 1 through 14, 2025, blah, 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 blah. So you get all that. So I think the Chicago Bulls is another team that could definitely use him. But here's the thing. They basically already gave us a first round pick. We got quite a few picks from them already. You can see here 2025 first round draft pick to San Antonio. And we have 2025 second round draft pick to San Antonio. So I don't know. But I do think that going to Chicago Bulls will be ideal for Jakob Poeltl. He'll be playing with DeMar DeRozan, who he's already acquainted with, and on top of it, he's definitely a position that they could utilize. So Chicago Bulls and Golden State Warriors were the ones that I was really looking at. If there's other teams that you think could really use Jakob Poeltl services, please let me know. Now, I'm going to be real. 2 first-round picks is mighty high, but Brian Wright has really shocked me over the offseason. A lot of people say that we didn't do anything, but we actually did. Brian Wright has done a phenomenal job, in my opinion. And I could very well see him being able to get 2 first-round picks out of Jakob Poeltl. The fact that he was able to get something out of Thad Young, some really good things out of Thad Young, it just makes me believe anything is possible, especially with someone like Jakob. Now, moving on, let's go ahead and read through here. The 26-year-old Poeltl, acquired in the Leonard trade, has emerged as one of the most underrated rim protectors in the league. I agree. Poeltl has swatted 241 shots in the past 2 seasons, only behind noted defensive anchors Rudy Gobert and Miles Turner. I would also like to add one thing about Jakob Poeltl too that people don't talk about. I believe he's top 3 in this past season. It's either 3rd or 4th in screen assists. So he is really huge when it comes to screens, pick and rolls, all that good stuff. He's really great at it. And DeJounte Murray utilized the crap out of Jakob Poeltl. DJ's stats wouldn't have looked the way that they looked without Jakob Poeltl. He was huge to this offseason last season. Now, obviously, no one cares because we kept losing, but I'm just letting you know, like yeah, that's what I saw. Now, here's the thing with Jakob, and this is what kind of makes me a little upset about this, is I was expecting Jakob Poeltl to at least stick with us for a little while for the development of Malachi Branham and Josh Primo, but most importantly Malachi, because Malachi Branham really needs a screener. He's really he can create his own shot, but as it stands right now, he really knows how to utilize screens, and I feel like having someone on the NBA level, Jakob Poeltl, as a screener could really help him. Now, this might be a hot take, and this is just how my brain is working. Okay, I could be completely off with this, but this is my hot take. I believe the Spurs being so, because it sounds like it's pretty urgent. Okay, it's all over the place right now that the Spurs are seeking to trade Jakob Poeltl. I think that this urgency has something to do with these practices. I wouldn't be surprised if the San Antonio Spurs see something in Jeremy Sohan where they're like, you know what? We don't necessarily need Jakob Poeltl as a screener. We might be just fine with Jeremy Sohan being the glue guy and being able to help other guys develop while he develops, obviously, but helping Malachi, helping Josh Primo. Maybe we're good enough at that position, at least at the big man position moving forward. Now, the ultimate goal here isn't to win games. The ultimate goal here is to develop, okay? And you can win or lose games while you develop, but I don't think the San Antonio Spurs really care about that. And that's why I just sat back and I was like, no, maybe Jakob Poeltl is safe right now because they could really use a guy like him. But as it stands right now, it looks like they are not worried about that whatsoever, and that's probably the right move. And I don't even think I really have to address the Josh Richardson thing. I've said this over and over and over again. I know Spurs fans absolutely love Josh Richardson. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I think he's a fine player. Don't get me wrong. But I just don't necessarily think Josh Richardson makes us that much better. Even from a leadership standpoint, I would much rather him just go somewhere where he can win rather than sticking it out with the San Antonio Spurs right now. I just don't really see a use for him in that regard, especially with the amount of guards that we have and the amount of players that we want to see play. I'll tell you right now, if Josh Richardson sticks with the team, we probably won't see a lot of Blake Wesley at all. Now, if he's gone, we're going to see some Blake Wesley. And it's the same thing with Doug McDermott, right? Like we're hearing rumors that Doug McDermott, the Spurs are looking to move Doug McDermott. Well, if you lose Doug McDermott, then that gives way more playing time to more than likely Jeremy Sohan. Yeah, so I'm completely okay with this. I'm completely for it. Jakob is going to be a tough loss, but at the same time, I'm just going to go ahead and speculate that the Spurs are seeing some really great things in practice where they're like, you know what, screw that. We can go ahead and have, Jeremy Sohan be kind of that anchor right now moving forward. But that's my take on it. I could be completely wrong. That's just how I feel about it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that the San Antonio Spurs right now, as it stands, should keep Jakob Poeltl and ride it out, or you think that they should just go ahead and trade him as soon as they can? And like I've said, 1 first-round pick is good enough for me. 2, that's just Brian Wright being Brian Wright. But anyways, I'll get with you guys later. If you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a Patreon YouTube member, only $2 per month. Until next time, deuces.